Good afternoon, good evening, my eighth graders. We're getting ready for Friday's quiz. I want to put the notes out there for everybody. I want to remind everybody as they look at the notes, this class is all about the cultural end and the physical and political end of these countries. So we really don't have much in the way of the strength of the history. So if you're looking for a strong European history background, take the class at the high school. It's a good class. Take it in college. Some great stories. Love medieval times. Love the Dark Ages. Love all that. But this class is not going as deep in that as would be fun. First off, I want to start with Friday's quiz. We'll begin with the countries of Europe. Now, to do that, let's highlight some of the countries that we need to know. The first country let's get you with is going to be Portugal, off there on the coast. You've got Spain. You've got France. You've got Italy, Switzerland, Germany, Belgium, England. Now remember, on England, if we want to switch it over to the UK includes Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. We also have Ireland in our countries we want to get to know a little bit about. We have our Scandinavian countries of Norway, Sweden, and Finland. We'll add Poland to the mix. The Ukraine, we said, that's been in the news quite a bit lately. If you want to start looking for the Netherlands and Denmark, you can add those to your map. But as we get going, those are the big ones that will be on the quiz for sure on Friday. There's if you want to double check where things are at. Like I said, we might add the Netherlands, we might add Denmark. I didn't circle those for you on the other page, I apologize, but there we go. Again, Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia. We will not, because we're not going to get into the Balkan area and do too much with the smaller countries. Again, talking the physical features, the main one to know are the Alps that are there. You should kind of have in mind that the Ural Mountains, they do separate Europe and Asia quite a bit. Yeah, you should know this area up here is Scandinavian area. You see Scandinavian Shield. I'm drawing fun pictures today for you. But you get there, you get the Black Sea, Mediterranean Sea, all worth knowing. The North Sea. Rivers, we did not focus on those. The first video that we had, let me turn the marker off real quickly here, go back to the pointer. The first video that we had, the area we spent most of our time talking about, as we fast forward the video for you. You know, we talked as the video goes by here, we talked about all the changes that were happening very quickly as different countries and different empires, we talked about the Holy Roman Empire, tried to gain significant power throughout. And we talked in all the classes about how Russia would eventually grow. And we talked about the Iron Curtain as we're getting close to that. And again, in class, we reached the 1900s and talked about the beginning of World War I. We had Austria-Hungary as a major power through here. For those who remember the stories about Franz Ferdinand, we talked about he was assassinated in Serbia. And that brought on the beginning of the war. And you can see as we come to the end of the war now, Austria-Hungary greatly diminished. Germany, they lost most of their wealth. Russia began to expand. Now we look at the beginning of World War II. Again, you had the Soviet Union now instead of Russia, but it changed over. they were beginning to expand. Germany was beginning to expand and take over much land. You'll watch as Germany's purple takes over a much greater area here now. And just like that, during the war, before the war came to an end, Germany's empire had expanded quite a bit under Adolf Hitler. Now watch as the war comes to an end, what begins with Russia. And just like that, shortly after the war, here's the Iron Curtain that we spoke about. And with some agreements and such, Russia gave back most of this land. They gave up ownership or controlling this area. Many countries were formed, Croatia in there, and you can see Bulgaria and many others as we get rolling on. They all earned their independence. And we talked about this in class, the situation about the Ukraine and dealing with deciding if it's Russian or European and how they're going to control it. We'll skip Bernard today. Real quickly, running through things again, we talked about the use of agriculture being a major reason why our civilization grew. Talked about the Bronze Age, was where they used copper with tin alloy to make tools. Alexander the Great, he went and dominated many large areas throughout the European nation. The Germanic people came in. With Alexander's empire being so far spread out, it allowed, in the fringe areas, other groups to come in and attack and take over. And that weakened Alexander the Great's rule. The Germanic people came in, obviously, you're talking Germany, but in the Western Roman Empire is where they came in. King Charlemagne and the Franks, eventually France. The Holy Roman Empire, we spent some time talking about religion in general and how they misused religion to gain power. They used it for fear and keep control of people. The Celtic area, you have that in England. And everyone joined in. We talked about Canute the Great. We talked about the Normans. We talked about the Rus in Russia. And then a great conversation we had in classes was on the Renaissance, or the rebirth, where they began to reject some of the overly strong religious ideas of the time. It was a growth in art and culture and agriculture. The paper and print came in. We could share ideas with each other. And it just really grew in all the arts at the time. Of course, the upset region was the religious leaders. They were losing control and losing their power. When the bubonic plague hit, the religious leaders quickly jumped on board and said that God was angry with them. But in reality, when you look at it, it was caused by the Oriental rat fleas that came across on the Silk Route, where they traded to get spices, teas, silk from Asia. The rats that were on board carried this Oriental rat flea, which brought diseases in that had never been felt or seen before in Europe, causing many to die. Bring out your dead. And a real quick peek, then we looked at the 16 and 1700s colonization. The focus was no longer just within. They looked to the New Worlds. This is where the United States would eventually form. The 1800s in Europe, again, a strong push for independence and controlling their own countries. 1950, we're at World War I. You can refer back to the video where you saw what happened when other countries grew. In 1939, Germany invaded Poland to begin World War II. It was after World War II where Russia expanded, and this area here became known as the Iron Curtain, for it separated Europe and Asia. Now, as we talked about in classes, remember, there's 7 continents. Most are independent and spread out. Europe and Asia have quite a bit of land border in between. It's a constant battle. What influence will there be in these countries? Will it be Europe or Asia? Many geographers look at this area of the world and call it Eurasia now, viewing your England, France, Germany, and Italy. That area is Asia. This area is definitely Russia, but in the middle is kind of Eurasia. Well, that's going to be it for the quiz. We're going to talk about some of these slides as we get going. The videos for these slides are right on my webpage. There's a whole Walter's World video collection you can look through for the things to like and not like. But again, in class, we'll be going over a short tourist attraction, Tower of London, Stonehenge. She will be there as well. There's a Walter's World video. Again, you can go to my website to view that. France, located on the map, the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, and it will go on from there in the Louvre. I'm going to stop the video here because we have not gotten to these in class yet, and I want to have a chance to talk them with you in class before we continue. But again, as you study for the test, the best way to go about it, the things we've highlighted in class, is what you'll need to know. Hope you have a great night. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.